Atlantis, the mystery of the lost city and its endless secrets. Atlantis is one of the most fascinating and perplexing legends in human history. Mentioned in the works of Plato, this lost city has sparked the imaginations of archaeologists, historians, and adventurers for thousands of years. According to Plato, Atlantis was once the center of a great and powerful civilization, but it was submerged overnight due to a catastrophic event, vanishing beneath the waves. For centuries, the existence of this civilization has been debated, yet the secrets of Atlantis remain unresolved. The founding and splendor of Atlantis. The origins of Atlantis mark a peak in humanity's desire to establish civilization. According to legends, Atlantis was built on a vast and fertile island. Located in the heart of the ocean, this island boasted not only a strategic position, but also the riches offered by nature. The island's fertile lands brought prosperity and abundance to the city, while the people of Atlantis amassed incredible wealth through both land and sea trade. The city was surrounded by massive walls, with circular streets and canals connecting it in a flawless arrangement. The circular structure of Atlantis not only made the city a visual delight, but also provided a strategic defense system. In the center stood a magnificent palace where the royal family resided. Surrounding this palace were small islands that housed the living quarters of the citizens, temples, marketplaces, and trade centers. Each region of the island was designed as a marvel of engineering genius. The central palace was not merely an administrative building, but also a symbol reflecting the spirit and grandeur of Atlantis. The rulers had transformed Atlantis into a civilization that could control all the powers of nature. Atlantis's achievements in science and technology. Atlantis was not only a military and economic power, but also a center for science and technology. The Atlanteans made groundbreaking inventions in engineering. Waterways, bridges, colossal towers, and advanced irrigation systems demonstrated how advanced the city was in both agriculture and industrial production. The canals of Atlantis transported water throughout the island, which was also utilized in energy production. Huge mirrors, harnessing solar energy, provided lighting and hot water in the city. Furthermore, advanced agricultural techniques ensured that the nutritional needs of the population were abundantly met. The Atlanteans became a model for other civilizations through their irrigation systems and land cultivation methods. The scientific successes of Atlantis also manifested in the fields of astronomy and mathematics. The Atlanteans studied the sky to track the movements of the stars, predicting seasons and natural events from these movements. Their developed calendar system revolutionized the measurement of time. In mathematics, they employed complex geometric forms and calculations to construct grand structures. Each of the colossal buildings in Atlantis was a product of this advanced mathematical knowledge. The architectural and engineering marvels in the city inspired not only aesthetic admiration, but also scientific wonder. The economic power and trade connections of Atlantis. The economic strength of Atlantis was not limited to its own wealth. The Atlanteans excelled in seafaring, sending trading ships across the world. This trade network, spanning the Atlantic Ocean, transformed Atlantis into a global trade hub. The ports of Atlantis were bustling with merchants from all corners of the world, where exotic goods, precious stones, and minerals were bought and sold. The gold and silver mines of Atlantis had made the city a symbol of opulence. Through this trade network, the Atlanteans not only gained material wealth, but also engaged in cultural exchanges with other civilizations. The open nature of Atlantis infused the city with cultural and intellectual diversity. Different communities arriving through trade routes enriched the cultural fabric of Atlantis and contributed to the collective knowledge of its people. Foreign philosophers, scientists, and artists showcased their talents in Atlantis, becoming part of this great civilization. Consequently, Atlantis became not only an economic capital, but also a cultural one. Knowledge and art spread freely throughout the city as people engaged in scientific discoveries alongside artistic and philosophical discussions. The spiritual life and philosophical thoughts of Atlantis. The people of Atlantis possessed a philosophical system that showed great respect for the forces of nature. Their efforts to understand and control the workings of nature formed the foundation of their scientific achievements. However, these scientific successes were not independent of their spiritual and moral beliefs. The Atlanteans believed they were on a quest to unravel the mysteries of the universe. They perceived the universe as a system governed by certain laws, and discovering these laws would allow humanity to live in harmony with nature. The spiritual life in Atlantis was central to societal living. The people organized rituals and festivals symbolizing the forces of nature to maintain the balance of the universe. This belief system shaped not only their religious practices, but also their lifestyle and daily routines. The justice system in Atlantis was built upon these philosophical thoughts. Values such as equality, justice, and honesty were considered the highest ideals among the populace. Consequently, class conflicts were rare in Atlantis, and the majority of society lived in peace and harmony. The tragic end of Atlantis, catastrophe and annihilation. Despite all its splendor, Atlantis met with a sudden and tragic end. Most theories suggest that the city was lost due to a natural disaster. Catastrophic earthquakes and volcanic eruptions might have submerged the island overnight. This colossal calamity erased the city from history, as the rising sea levels drowned Atlantis's magnificent structures, burying the traces of life that once echoed through its streets beneath the sands of the ocean floor. Other theories related to the fall of Atlantis propose different reasons. Some assert that the city experienced decline due to internal issues. The wealth and prosperity of Atlantis may have led to corruption and injustice over time. Power struggles among the rulers, civil wars, and social conflicts could have gradually pushed Atlantis toward its doom. When societal balance was disrupted, it is plausible that this great civilization hastened its own end. Additionally, other theories regarding Atlantis's disappearance have emerged. Some historians argue that Atlantis was never a real place, suggesting that Plato created a philosophical allegory. Plato might have used Atlantis to impart a lesson on justice and morality. According to this theory, the downfall of Atlantis symbolizes the consequences of human greed and ambition. Through Atlantis, Plato might have sought to warn humanity about the moral decay and insensitivity to the forces of nature that could lead to its downfall. The legacy of Atlantis, myth or reality? Today, the question of whether Atlantis ever existed continues to be debated. Many scientists and archaeologists are still searching for traces of Atlantis in the depths of the ocean. Some researchers believe that the remnants of Atlantis may be hidden in the Mediterranean or the depths of the Atlantic Ocean. With technological advancements, underwater explorations have increased, sparking new hopes for uncovering the traces of this lost civilization. However, whether Atlantis is a myth or reality remains to be definitively established. In conclusion, Atlantis continues to stand as one of the greatest and most mysterious legends in human history. Although no concrete evidence of its existence has been found, the tale of this lost civilization prompts profound reflections on the rise and fall of societies. The story of Atlantis serves as a reminder of humanity's responsibility toward nature, the importance of justice, and moral values. This lost city has become an integral part of not only history, but also the human spirit.